Well, hello, it's the Wednesday Midweek Sci-Fi show. I'm on live. Right. Tonight's chat cult, I don't know how to say it, cult science fiction films. No, children's programs like The Children of the Stones and Archer's Goon, The Tomorrow People. Hello, Michael. How are you, bud? Good to see you. Couldn't make it Sunday. Had to go out. So I'm here. So anyway, tonight's chat is about science fiction children's programs. Yeah, no, I'm good, bud. I'm good. I'm in a really good mood actually. Quite happy actually. How are you? So I've just watched a children's program called Archer's Goon from the 90s, and it's based on this book. And I'll tell you, so it's just absolutely crazy. So just watch that. So, does anybody remember the Tomorrow's People and the lab? You know, with Tim the computer and John and the rest of them. They were always in Looking magazine. Now I'm good. All right. Maybe I'm being a bit too old. I don't know. Now I'm going back to the 70s and 80s. They did some really weird programs back then, like Time Slip and that. I don't think they do them today. I don't think they get away with it now. I mean, some of it are really scary stuff. So, hello, Jane. How are you? Sorry about Sunday. I couldn't get on. I had to go off personal things to sort out. So, how are you, Jane? I hope you've had a good week. You know, it's. I thought I'd do 30 minutes tonight, but I will make. I'll do a bigger show on Sunday. You know, so we've got San Diego Comic Con coming up as well. I mean, that's going to be sort of quite exciting with the entire San Diego Comic Con. Looking forward to. I think that's next week, isn't it? San Diego Comic Con. One of these years I'm going to have to get off my ass and sort it out and go. I keep meaning to go, but I just never get round to it. I was going to go to New York last year, but I got flooded out and I had to move. So, that was to go to the Star Trek thing in Tracadero. So, I've got to start looking at that again. I haven't really been to a lot of conventions this year. I've not been to that many. I think I'm going to be going to more cons towards the end of the year. It's looking like after August. I've just got too much on at the moment. So, any more news reports from Geeks and Gamers and anywhere else? Has anything happened out there? I know they've been attacking several films. I caught up with them the other day, Geeks and Gamers. I watched. They were attacking some film. I forgot what it was now. I just came across. They were really going into like. I think it was the MC. Oh, but it JJ Abrams who's now took over at DC Universe, which is sort of, I don't know. I'm not too impressed with JJ Abrams at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. So I thought I'd do a 30-minute show tonight and then I'll do over an hour on Sunday. I think Sunday's like the big night, really, and it's when everybody's on Sunday. It sort of fits more in everybody's at home. I think Wednesday's sort of on and off. Jane, Geeks and Gamers talking about the fact. Yes, I heard about that. I've heard that the Star Wars Disneyland's not really took off. Apparently, it's not took off that much. It's a bit of a con. I don't know if that's right, but the war having a go at that, so which was sort of interesting. as you can see, I've moved everything into another room, which I'm sort of decorating at the moment. Getting things done in here, so it will be finished. But I've just set it up because I've got to finish the front room off. Oh, it's just taking forever, is all this. But back to science fiction. So I don't know. Well, apparently, I don't think there's any DC at San Diego Comic Con. I think Marvel are just going to dominate. Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con. I know there's a Terminator thing in Hall H. There's a big Terminator thing going on. Do you know what I mean? So there's that going on. But there's no hardly. I think the DC TV stuff's going to be there, but I don't think that's it. There's no Joker movie, no Birds of Prey movie or anything like that. Yeah, I know. I've just said, Jane, DC's not in Comic Con this year. I know. The TV series are. They are doing the television series. I think they're going to be showing more of the Batwoman as well. I mean, they've all been panning the new Batwoman, haven't they? They've really been panning that. So I don't know. So I've been quite open about the trailer for Batwoman. I mean, I'm prepared to give it a chance. I'm not going to write it off yet. I hope it's good. But I'm looking forward to Titans too. The second season of Titans. I'm going to be watching Killjoy season 4 tonight. Finally going to get to start watching that. I finished Jessica Jones last night. I was sort of half and half with Jessica Jones because I sort of got into I liked Erica. I forgot Erica Dave, the actress that plays Patsy Walker. She was playing Hellcat. I didn't like what they did with her character, and she got locked up at the end. I would have liked to have seen them two team up and take on some other villain, but it did finish on a good note with her at the end. Jane, Terrorhawks, yeah, classic. I love Terrorhawks. Absolutely brilliant. All right, Gareth, Disney punch up. That'd be fun for Klingon visitors. Do you need to book in advance, or do you just throw yourself into the fray? Well, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck take on Klingons. I could just picture it, and the Disney princesses. I've got to admit, I've been to several adventures. I met some Disney princesses, and I'm not knocking anybody that dressed it was the Disney prince, but some of them they're horrible people. You're not all of the. I've come across one or two. How would you say they're very up themselves? So how are you, Kerry? It's good to hear from you, but sorry I couldn't make Sunday. I had to go off and sort things out. So but everything's cool. So, but that's life, I suppose. I've moved my studio into a spare room, so I'm just getting it all sorted and set up. Yeah. Uh, I've not seen Stranger Things, Jane, yet. I've not seen it. I've not seen 1, 2, or 3. I just got through Jessica Jones last night. And I'm starting on Kilroy season 4 tonight, finally, which I'm looking forward to. I've not seen Last Ship season 5 yet. I've got it on hard drive. So when I get time, because I've got to go out as well, I do have a life, So I'm out quite a lot. So, yes, but it's getting the time to watch all that. I really would like to see Stranger Things. A friend of mine's telling me to watch Chernobyl. Chernobyl. So it's been a bit. I don't know. Apparently, it's real nail biting stuff. There's only 5 episodes, but I'm going to a beer festival on Friday in a tent up in, I don't know, somewhere outside of London. So, which is going to be interesting. So I'm going to try and watch your novel if I'm in. I think I'm in Saturday. So I'm hoping to watch it then. Uh, The Boy in Space. No, not saying that. I'm looking forward to Lost in Space season 2 for getting it. Jen, have you seen the Children of the Stones? I was going to go into children's program. You know the really off the spin ones. You know the really. I do recommend you should try out Children of the Stones, Jen. Try it out. It's on YouTube. It's a British series made in the 70s, and it'll really freak you out. They would never dare show that today. Kenneth, costumes can be hot and unpleasant in the UK. I can only imagine the hell of Florida heating a ball gown surrounded by yeah. I'm building. I've started. I've got a 3D. Yeah, I'm building the Captain Cold cosplay for an event for next for later this year. I've waited to order Parker coat actually, but some at Parker's have been ridiculous prices. So I'm looking for one within a certain range. But I've got his gun. I've actually got his cold gun. I got it 3D printed. So I'm quite happy about that. And I've got the goggles and I've got the boots, but I think it works. I've got a bald head, so yeah, I do recommend you try Children of the Stones. And if you want something really cheesy, go for the Tomorrow's People from the 70s. I don't know. I watched one today when I got in called Archer's Goon. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I cleared all 6 episodes in about 2 hours. I'm quite surprised actually. And it was insane. It was, I couldn't turn it off. I thought, bloody hell, they wouldn't make this today. Do you know what I mean? They just would not make this today. Jane, Thunderbirds or Terrorhawks? Terrorhawks. I never really got into Thunderbirds. I don't mind the new ones, but I like Terrorhawks. Terrorhawks just it's another rip off of Captain Scarlet and UFO, really, isn't it? Terrorhawks, secret organization finding aliens. I'm not into Alpha. No, I like the original series. I'd rather keep the original. Yeah, that music was amazing, wasn't it? That theme. It was so beyond its time. Do you remember the graphics with the hand and all that? Do you remember all that with the face? It was all quite psychedelic and trippy, wasn't it? They don't do stuff like that now. It's all too snowflakey today. I watched Children of the Stones about a month ago, and it really freaked me out. It's that music, that like music with the Stones and the cinematography of it all. It's really freaky, and what a great twist at the ending as well. So I don't know. I'm looking. There's one with Sutherland from Blake Seven, where it was a six-parter on BBC. It was in like early 90s, and she plugged herself into a computer to take over the world. And I've been looking for it. I forgot what it's called. All right, just some guy. Good to see you, man. Hope you've had a good week. I'm making burgers at the moment for a 19-year-old child running my time on here. I'm glad it's not my kid full-time job. Oh, well, good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that. Kenneth, Trippy Vision's Children of the Stone Kids today would need. Oh, yeah, totally, mate. Totally. Do you know what I mean? I remember I saw that as a kid. It freaked me out, When it was, you remember that music, that like horror, like the Omen type music, and then stones in the dark with them shapes. Yeah, you're right. It would. I think it'd freak a lot of kids out. That would today. Just some guy. I'm sort of up and down like Brian's knickers at the bus. Yeah. I know you feel. Yeah. It's so yeah. Life. Everything we're going all right for a while. Then it's sort of like it turns a bit crazy, doesn't it? But I suppose it's life. Yeah. Oh God, Chucky. Yeah, all 5 seasons. Yeah. Chucky was a classic. I don't remember what Chucky was about. What I did. I vaguely remember Chucky. I remember it was that weird light thing, wasn't it? It was communicating with that kid, sort of possessed him, didn't it? Somehow, I think. All right, Coke, how are you, bud? Good to see you. We're on about and we're going back to some classic children's program, like science fiction, sort of like really freaky kid stuff back in 70s and 80s, what we grew up on, like Children of the Stones and the Tomorrow's People. Some really weird time slip. That were another one. That were screwed. Does anybody remember tripods? Does anybody remember tripods? I love tripods. And the music, what a great, and they never finished it, did the tripods? Do you remember that bar they had in Alien City, the Blue Parrot? And everybody looked like Freddie Mercury. do you remember it? In the City of the Masters. Hang on, children, right. I am Jen. Will they do a movie of Alf? I hope not. I just leave the original alone. I like the sarcasm of it. First two seasons were brilliant, and then they sort of controlled it after that, and it wasn't any good. Just some guy, Jane Turner, got Chucky with Matthew. Yeah. Well, didn't it sort of possess him or something? Chucky. I wonder if it's on YouTube. That's what I mean. That's why what I'm on about in tonight's show, because they made these really like back there. You couldn't show this stuff today. If you put like Chucky on, like at 4:30, it'd freak a lot of them out. I think it would. You won't get it on TV today. Do you know what I mean? I watched Archer's Go, and he got his sister absolutely pissed in it with these sorcerers and all that today. And I thought, what the bloody hell am I watching? And this, do you know what I mean? And what a great twist to it all as well. I mean, these things back then were, it's like Children of the Stones. I agree, kind of. Children of the Stones is definitely Hammer territory. It totally is. It is. It's got that Omen music. Remember that music to it? It just freaked me out. There is a sequel to Children of the Stone. There's a book. There was a second book, and I've never read it. I'd love to get hold of it. It's called Return to the Stones or something like that. And I've been trying to find plot device for it, but there's nothing online. But the book does exist. But Chucky, I'm trying to remember what Chucky was about. Just going by. What about, oh God, Into the Labyrinth? Bloody hell. That were freaky, wasn't it? That were Dominic, Cumberbatch, that's his mother. She's in that, She was that evil sorceress. Do you remember Into the Labyrinth? That was just freaky, wasn't it? Do you remember that creepy music as well? That's another one. Do you remember that? Into the Labyrinth. I think that ran for like 3 or 4 seasons, didn't there? Filled at Cheddar Gorge Caves. Oh yeah, they've done. I think they've done a. Hang on, just some guy. What about a Labyrinth? 1981. Good God, man! Filmed at Cheddar Gorge Caves. Mad that one. It was. I'm sure these people who were writing this stuff back then, they were on acid. They had to be on Summit, didn't they? I mean, the stuff was just so out there. I mean, a lot of these freaked me out. The BBC had Ghosts, which seemed like they all go, oh God, Ghosts of Motley Hole. You're going back there, mate. I remember Ghosts of Motley Hole. Girl Club. The Tripods was excellent. It was cancelled. I know. Michael Grade, you are a wanker, and we have never forgiven you for what you did that day. I read the third book. Yeah, I've read third book. I went out and got the books when they cancelled it. You've got the Tripods, the City of, what is it, the Pool of Fire, and the other, I forgot what the other one's called now, where Henry dies, don't he? In his balloon, because they build planes to attack it, but the Tripods shut them down. And they go in and they gas the city from inside, don't they? And all the masters are asleep, and they try blowing the dome so the atmosphere gets in. Because to take out the other two cities on the other continents, don't they? Do you know what I mean? And then they cancelled it. I mean, third season would have been a masterpiece. I think Tripods is going to get a review on it. Could have been a classic. I'm being serious. I think Tripods is a classic with an unfair ending. I love Tripods. I've got it on DVD. Tripods. I always sort of jump into it. Do you know what I mean? Tripods. Every year or so, I'll just sit down and start watching it. And the soundtrack to Tripods was great. But on the DVD, you do have the third season soundtrack because they developed the soundtrack for the third season. To cancel that, it was just spite. Honestly, mind my language, but Michael Gray was a spiteful bastard for doing that. It was, and it was popular as well. Hang on, Tripods cancelled by that wanker Michael Gray. Yeah, third book. Honestly, Tripods could have been a classic. It is a classic. Jane Turner, The Glitter Ball. No, don't remember that, Jane. You have to, you know. Hello, John. Good save from you, man. Oh, wow. Good to have you on here, John. Tripods, really good. Yeah, it was. Tripods was superb. And the music to Tripods, that soundtrack, that synth overture to it all. Just some guy. Chuck It is on YouTube. That's how I got into it. Oh, really? Right, because I've just finished Archer's Goon today when I got in, which I do recommend you should try out Archer's Goon. It's really weird. He's in it from Only Fools and Horses. He plays the dad, Trigger. Chucky's right. Is it on YouTube? I might give Chucky a look. Actually, I vaguely remember. All I remember what that kid like being connected to that alien force or something. Chucky's on YouTube. That's how I got into it again. Chucky was proper like the government got onto him and subtle hints of parent monarch. Oh God. You don't. When you look back at this stuff now, it's amazing what you can put on it. Do you know what I mean? Because I think Chucky were quite. I remember there were a bit of a scandal about it freaking a lot of kids out, but it ran for about 3 or 4 seasons, didn't it? Kerry, Alf ordering a cat pizza was funny. Yeah, they got a bit strict with Alf, though, didn't they? They found him a bit too sarcastic in first 2 seasons. And then they sort of toned it down a lot. Because I thought Alf's sarcasm was funny. Didn't they finish Alf off with that awful television movie where he lived at Area 51? Which were just terrible. Chucky's on YouTube. Hang on, Kevin Aldrin. The Tripods was pretty good considering the budget they used to use better writing school. Yeah, well, they did back then. It's like Blake 7, isn't it? Blake 7 was a masterpiece. It's one of my favourite all-time BBC sci-fi series. And, you look beyond the special effects because the story writing, the characters are just incredible. That's why I think a remake of Blake 7 today, done properly, I think it could be one. I think Blake 7 could be one of the biggest franchises out there on TV. And I can't understand why they've just not gone back to it. But I think there's some weird stuff with the rights to Blake 7 still going on now. It was going to come back. Sky were involved in sci-fi, but they all pulled out, didn't they? I think it was running into a lot of money where they wanted to go with it. But they'd have got that back on a fan base that had been very low. So if it had been done right, they don't do this. Like when they remake stuff, you think that's worthy of a remake, to bring it up to modern effects. But they end up screwing it up, don't they? Cool Club. What about classic sci-fi? Oh, God, Ulysses, man. Yeah. Have you seen the final episode of that? Cool Club. Where they're in Hades. Even as in it. I think I was about 18. I just started working at the time. I lived at home. And I got in from a tea, and I remember I watched Ulysses every week because that started after Cities of Gold, didn't it? Because I've got two younger brothers, so right into that. And I watched Ulysses. My brother was a bit freaked out by it all. Final couple of episodes. Because you remember with all dead bodies floating around? I mean, that were, Ulysses were quite freaky for what it was. And the artwork for it was marvellous. I've got Ulysses. I'd like to thank Pete. He actually sent me copies of it. So I managed to, but I did go out and buy the DVD. I found the DVD set of it. So Ron Moody was Into the Labyrinth, and that Laszlo was in the fact. Oh God, yeah. So Ron does the Into the Labyrinth. Do you remember that crazy music to it though? Oh, I'll tell you, one of my favorites was the adventure game. And honestly, I've got it on DVD actually. Do you remember the adventure game on a Friday? With them people, they got that weird planet, and they had to walk across that grid with that laser beam that follows them around and teleports them back to Earth. You got to cross it. Brilliant, wasn't it? Adventure game. You just don't seem to get creativity like that anymore now. Do you know what I mean? Rumbles, just some guy went into the labyrinth, came out. I was 5 years old. Didn't understand it, but when they used to go through the cave portal, fantasy. Well, I want that. Oh, I forgot about 10 now. So it used to be on Sundays on Yorkshire TV. Because I think that 4:30 every week on ITV, they'd have like an hour of kids' dramas. You know what I mean? There was one called Knights of the Realm, where these sort of right-wing government had took over Britain. Knights of the Order or something. It was set in today, and the royal family. There was a prince, and they had to do all the kids for democracy. Got Britain back. They put the monarchy back on the throne, and that were quite good. Knights of the Order, I think it were called. It's on YouTube actually. Went into the labyrinth 5 years and didn't understand it. It took me a couple of years to understand it. Mate, I watched it. I watched it last year. Actually, I got some of it on DVD and I watched it, and I thought, I've finally got to figure what this was about. Went into some code. Right, just some guy got tripods online at the same time, but the trip. Oh God. Well, my friend who's an actor, his wife was in the 90s. He got married to the lead star of that, with the short hair in the original series. I think it was 80. Remember Triffid series, which I quite like that. The original BBC series, which I found were really cool. But he's an actor friend of mine. He got married to her. He's divorced now, but I mean, remember asking him, he was telling us about her, and she's really nice, apparently. So I should have done a third. Got tripods online at the same time, but David Tifford. John Pope. Oh, yeah, no, John, this is spiteful. There's a lot out there about tripods. There's a massive fan base for it. I do, John. There is 3 books. I did. Actually, there's 4 books. There's a prequel book that got released about 4 years ago, and I got hold of that. And it told you how the tripods took over Earth. It's the story set 100 years before. And first, they turn up. We know about them, because what happens was they land a couple of tripods on Earth, but they get attacked by the RAF and the military. The destroyed tripods. Well, they don't hear anything from them for about a couple of years. It's forgotten about. And then they come back and they go through television transmissions. They start beaming it through this children's program called Mr. Trippy. And they beam the signals, and people start building these helmets at home, and they put them on, and they get this army. We've all got these helmets on, and that's how there is a nuclear strike against them as well, but they destroy the submarine. Yeah, so, and then they come down in mass, because honestly, it's in the first book. This is before the 3 books that came later on, which the tripods is based on. And I think it would be good to do the whole 4 books. Honestly, I do recommend you get the first book. Sort of completes the entire circle. Hang on, I didn't. Right, I got tripods on at the same time. I put Daily Triffids jump. Should yeah. Well, John, there was going to do a third. They actually on the DVDs. They wrote the soundtrack. The soundtrack's on the DVD for season 3. Do you remember where Michael Grade? Well, he wanted. Remember when they tried killing off Doctor Who in '80s? Remember? Well, he wanted rid of it because he didn't think there were any money in science fiction. People wanted like other stuff. He was the killer of science fiction. Michael Grade, honestly, it's true. He just killed it. And he shouldn't have done it. We should have got a third season because it was popular and it had a massive fan base. Kerif, remember the adventure games? Oh, yeah, talking plants and a machine that disintegrated the guests. I've got it on. It's superb in the adventure game. Cokeland, all these great shows. What's on live TV now? Nothing. Yeah, no, I agree. A lot. I mean, you're not going to get anything like Children of the Stones, are you? At that caliber, that stands out against anything today with a multi-million-pound budget. Do you know what I mean? I didn't like the remake of V. Now, I were on and off with that, Jane. I was on and off. I know, but it's coming back, so it's going to be interesting whether they take it this time. Cokeland, all these great live. Yeah, no, I agree, mate. You're right. Cokeland, Ulysses had a happy ending. It had it did. I mean, there were some really deep stories in there. Really were. With the gods as well, like the pictures of the gods and all that, how they drew them. Jane, Martin, have you seen 12 Monkeys, the movie and 12 Monkeys? No, Jane, I've not seen the TV series, but I did see the film at the cinema, which I did quite enjoy with Bruce Willis. When I was in a long-term relationship, that was the first film I saw with my partner at the time. Cokewood, was Rent-A-Ghost considered sci-fi? I don't, oh God, man, don't start me on. Was Rent-A-Ghost, right, considered sci-fi? I think Rent-A-Ghost, mind my language, was just fucking insane, man. I've got season 1. They're all dead, you know. Seriously, they're all dead. Most set Nadia Popov. The rest of them are dead. I think the witch is alive. But Claypole, Mr. Davenport, in first season, they're all dead. Do you know what I mean? He died of AIDS. Did Mr. Claypole? I think he got, and I think the other. Honest soul on. If you go on Wikipedia, you can read it. I'm quite surprised because that Mr. Claypole was a Shakespearean actor. Apparently, they were all quite Shakespearean actors, but it were insane with that. Do you remember that Panto Wars? Well, the 2 actors that were in Panto Wars were in that Doctor Who story with Sea Devils playing that creature. Ulysses like working through prog rock album cover the stuff. Oh God, yeah, definitely. I like that analogy. A prog rock album. Oh, Voyagers, yeah, he killed it. He died him, didn't he, Jane, the actor? I remember Voyagers, yeah. Kerif, modern shows are too safe. Yeah, I need weird, man. I'm a big fan of Lex. Do you remember Lex, Kerif? A massive fan of Lex. That was insane, wasn't it? Lex. But you don't get this anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's too pussyish today now. I mean, there is some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. There is some good stuff out there. But it is a bit too pussyish, isn't it? I mean, what we've been on about, they won't dare go on about it. I mean, they won't show half that today. That's why it's been all uploaded to YouTube. Cokeland, if they ever show the New World Rules, I'm hoping that tripods from that could make the BBC consider making a remake of the tripod. I agree. I agree with that. Well, I'm getting a bit annoyed about this War at Worlds thing because if you go on Amazon, you see the cover for it, the release date, pre-order the DV, Blu-ray, or whatever of the new War of the Worlds. But where is it? It was meant to be on at Christmas. We never saw it. So where is it? When's it coming? I've seen one clip of it so far in a BBC montage of shows coming this year. I'm not impressed with the Walkers. I'm not impressed with the Walkers at all. But I'd rather have tripods back now, to be honest. I really would. I think you could start tripods with the first book and then go into the other 4 seasons, 13 episodes of high budget, top quality writing. I think the problem is, though, it's the first season. I think a lot of people would probably find that quite sort of hard to get through. But you need to get through first season. Well, that'll be second season, won't it? When they're doing the runner to the White Mountains to find the human resistance. But that's the point. That's the coming of age. That's the adventure story, isn't it? But season 2 definitely ramps it up a notch. So I think from the first book about how they invade the Earth, then move into second. I think it'd work. I think if you got like an intense action season about their invasion, how it comes over 13 episodes, and then set it 100 years later in their time frame where they escaped at White Mountains, and then go second season. Obviously, we get to know the tripods and the city and all that, and then third season's the destruction. But the thing is, they end up remaking it. They could end up messing it all up. Hang on. Coco, just yes, that Howard from Dallas. Oh, hang on. Yep. Howard from Howard Cale. Just yes, that Howard from Dallas. Hang on. Right. Hang on. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, catching up. Also, Kerry Body Show said Jade. Also, man, awful show, terrible. I remember it. They only made 14 episodes, I think. Awful. I've got it on DVDs in a box. Cold Blood, I loved the 98. It was much better than the remake done around 2009 for the Ultimate movie. Oh, yeah, Howard Cale, definitely. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he was in that, wasn't he? So I think that's when they all escaped in submarine and didn't it, and go to America or something. Just some guy, oh, God, Howard Cale from Dallas. Yeah. Married Miss Ellie. Oh, God, I should have admitted that. If they ever show the new War of the Worlds, I'm hoping that's yep. BBC considered making a remake of Tripods. Definitely. Coco, yes, I'm from Dallas. I rewatched the TV show, The Highwayman. The Flying Truck. It's on YouTube, mate. I'm a big fan of Highwayman, Sam Jones. I mean, what the fuck is that about? I mean, it's just fucking crazy, wasn't it? Highwayman, it was just insane. That cheesy truck. Have you seen that, mate, of his Jetto with the boomerang? Where, and Jane Badler as his boss. I mean, the Badlands, and it's like 1999. And Tuvok's in it as well as the computer genius, isn't he? Tuvok in his cheesy clothing from 80s. I rewatched TV show. Cool. Yeah, the truck is cool. Both the trucks are cool. They were like the deal with like all weird stuff, don't they? I mean, there is some pretty good episodes in it, like the one with the clones and the alien invasion one, and that where they go back through time as well. Back to where they're going to test the nuclear bomb and that. Just some guy. They should bring back the original cast of Tripods and have it set whereby it's gone into their young adult kids being pursued as well, but explain what happened when he made it out of Tripod City. Well, yeah, no, that's where we got left, didn't we? Do you know what I mean? That's where we got left. And season 3 would have been marvelous. Yeah, it would. It would have been the destruction. Because the thing is that first season, when what my memories at first season of Tripods, I was sat by that telly 5:30 every Saturday waiting for it. And there were I think it was about 2 episodes where you get a bit more into what they are. Do you know what I mean? Where they're in Paris and they find that bunker in the underground. There's that machine gun. They get them grenades. There was and the destruct that was a battle there. And then the one where the tripod where they destroyed it, and Henry goes, I saw a figure in there like moving about when it collapsed. There is one or two episodes in there which makes season one of Tripod. It gives you because you want to know what they are, because you don't know. There could be robots, you don't know robots or whatever. But season two were brilliant. But yeah, my parents bought me the book for Christmas. I've still got it actually, the book. It with a big compendium of all three books in it. But like I said, about 2-3 years ago, the writer Christopher Summit, I think he was called, I forgot his name. He wrote a new book, a prequel book, which I do recommend you read, guys. Would not trust the BBC. No, I don't watch, John. I do not watch the BBC at all now. Me, I don't honestly do not bother with it. Hi, Daniel. It's good to hear from you, mate. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? You've had a good week. Jane, Time Tunnel from the 60s, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Oh, that's a toughie, that one, Jane. I like them both. I prefer them to Lost in Space. Just some guy, Rent a Ghost, which was Audrey Roberts from Corrie. What happened? I don't know. If you Wikipedia Rent a Ghost, a lot of them are dead now. Do you remember Mr. Mickey, what War Chief, wasn't he? In Patrick Troughton's final season, wasn't he, with a time mob, the War Chief? They should bring back the. Oh, right, I've read that. John would not trust. No, I agree, John. Totally do not trust the people. I've not got time for them. Coco, the first set of tripods is a bit slow, but you have to stick with it to get to all the bed. That's what I've just said. I totally agree. It's the coming of a adventure story with the Black Guard and the romance and that, but the tripods are there in the background manipulating events. But there's about 3 episodes in there that hold the first season. In there, there's 3 episodes. The one where they destroy the tripod, the one where they find that city in France, Paris, got destroyed by the tripod. There was a war. And I think the first episode, them episodes define season 1 for me. Actually, I might actually start watching tripods again, actually. Just some guy. Here's one I got along with 88 now. Oh, God, the Box of Delights. Good God, yeah. Box of Delights. Good God, yeah. They made such a big thing about that, didn't they? It were like the BBC had really gone cutting edge on special effects for that. I remember that, the Box of Delights. They milked that for a couple of years, though, didn't they? They kept repeating it, didn't they, at Christmas? Do you remember the Phoenix and the Magic Carpet? Where these kids had a magic carpet and a phoenix, and they could fly around up magic carpet and stuff. And that were a good one. Here's one I got on box. Just some guy. Do you remember? Oh God, BJ and the Bear looked like Kurt Russell. Yes, I remember BJ and the Bear. Yeah, I do. I remember. Yeah. And his truck. Cool. Are you hearing from different stories that Series of Red Dwarf has been? Yes, yeah, they're doing it. Yeah, it's out next October, I think. I read an article today, actually, on my phone. My phone sent it to me. You get stuff like sent to you. I think it's next October, but there were no what the story is. I'm hoping to finish it off and they get back to Earth. I'd like to see him get back and then just like end it. The best sci-fi show, children of all time. No, Jen, no, we don't talk about that on here. That is banned. Oh God, some of my Star Wars friends, real fanatic, they will not accept the existence of that. Remember Chewbacca's family? Yeah, terrible, wasn't it? Just some guy. Just some guy. Cold Club, the new and date with them as hint of new series in the autumn. Yeah, definitely. I don't know what's it's gonna be about. It could be just 6 separate stories, you know. I'd like to see a story arc actually, where they get to Earth. They get sucked through a black hole and they end up back on Earth or something, and there's no there. Well, Earth's just like totally mad and bonkers and whatever. Uh, Coco just some great. Daniel's hot topics. Getting closer to production of Star Trek Discovery. I know, not long to go now. And we've got Picard coming out later this year as well, haven't we? I saw uh, one of promotional pictures of him today on Facebook. You know, Picard. I'm hoping I've got big high. I've got very high hopes for Picard, but we'll have to wait and see. Getting close. Kind of Quark was the adventure of the crew of a space cabbage truck. Yep. Patrick Trout was in the book. He was. Andy was in Sinbad as Melanthius as well. Oh God, Jason and fucking Starker, man. God, you're going back there. Want Scotty in that? Well, no, there were Jason and Starker Man. Then there were Starker Man, weren't there? With Jonathan Harris from Lost in Space. I forgot which order they were in. Scotty were in one. Yeah, it was bloody awful, wasn't it? Cheap and nasty, wasn't it? I used to love it. You know. Jason Stark, and there was Star Command as well, wasn't there? Does anybody remember Captain Power and Soldiers of the Future? You know, like the Bogart, totally based on Lord Dread. I'm catching up some old TVs. I'm currently doing a 3-day stretch in Facebook jail. I posted a quote from the show. Oh God, I know it's getting bad on there. They took some of my stuff down, mate. You know, when I've like made opinions about stuff. You know, yeah, I'd like to say Megaforce TV series would be amazing. You want to see it film, Jane? It's crazy. Do you remember the puppet? Oh God, yeah, with that princess, and it will the X Zero, and guess what? Brian May sang the theme tune to it, didn't he? Brad Starfleet. He did. Do you remember Brian May sang the theme tune to that? And he released it as a single, and it got into the top 20, I think. Bloody awful, but the show were great. The X Zero Summit, the bomber. Daniel's up sent you something on Google Plus. All right, I'll check that out in a sec, mate. Kind of cardboard sets were cool back in the day. Doubly so when lit with. Oh no, they were great. I call it disco technology. You know, today it's all like computer monitors and holograms what they use in it. But back in the 70s and 60s, it were crazy. Like first, it was torchlight effect. Do you remember in Lost in Space when they had a ray gun? It were a bright light on your head that knock you out. I think Star Trek were on it one of the few programs that actually did it sort of proper. But when we got into the late 70s, like Jason Star Command and all that, it were all disco technology, wasn't it? It were all really disco, strobe lights and all that. Do you remember they used to use plasma balls as well as power sources? They used to have a plasma ball. You know what I mean? Do you know I'm going to tab make some? Do you ever recognise when you watch a lot of this stuff? Do you recognise the props that you've seen them in other TV series? You think I've seen that before? That computer bank. Jane, Alex, do you remember Starfleet? Yep, I do. Sent you something. Right, I'll check that out after this stream, mate. Cheers, Daniel. Kind of cardboard sets were cool back in the day, doubly so when lit with. Yep. Right now they are filmed. Yeah, no, they are, Jane. Yeah, I'm quite excited about that. Just some guy. Drama Armor was good. They did some dark ones there that have the DVD treatment. Only 2 films came out worth of. Oh, really? Is that all? God, it was like Ace of Wands, just some guy, one from 1973, which were cool. But they wiped the first two seasons, so only season 3 exists. But they replaced that with the Tomorrow's People. Starfleet. Oh, what? Brian May? Come on, John. It were awful. I've forgiven you. But I mean, Starfleet were a fantastic series. But the song Brian made, he shouldn't have done that. It were embarrassing. But he did it for his son, didn't he? You know. And I love Starfleet. It were great. You could get the whole series on DVD, but they did chop it all up into a film, didn't they? But on the DVD, you've got the Brian May song, the actual video. Oh, it's all right, Starfleet soundtrack. Starfleet, great soundtrack. Oh, God, Starfleet with the puppets on chat. Yeah, that's the one with the robots they found from the ships from the time of Terrorhawks. Yes, definitely. Didn't Paramount? I think they did. Yeah, I think they did. Paramount file a copyright complaint against Starfleet. And said, yeah, it was, but they got away with it, didn't they? Well, I don't think it really had a lot to do with Star Trek, really, did it? Because the ship were called Zero, X-Zero Bomber or something. And, you know, they were fighting like that mystical evil force, and she were a princess where she were like, could counter. She had a destiny and that. So I don't see how that were really Star Trek, really. Right. They're filming just some guy goes, Copeland. Yeah, hang on. Kerry, I'm just glad the oven read yourself for fall clothing. Mate, there were a lot of fashion back in 70s sci-fi. I'm glad it never, I'm glad we don't have to wear half of that. I've got to admit, though, I mean, they got the women in all that, didn't they? I'm not being like, do you know what I mean? They got them, didn't they? Latex and all that, didn't they? Have you seen Star Maidens? Good God, wait till you get a load of that. German, European sci-fi about a planet of females that dominate men. And the police officers are all running around in bras and knickers with big disco boots on. I'm not making this shit up. Honestly, I'm being serious. And all the sets, they only made 12 episodes. They cancelled it. And all the sets, they're all the sets from Space 1999, come from a planet called Medusa. And these two men do a runner and come to work because they want to be liberated. I'm not making this up. It's called Star Maidens. I'd give it a go. It's Blake's in it, Gareth Thomas, with this German weird actor who's got this weird hairstyle. It's like gold with a skunk thing through it. Looks like a porn star from the 70s. But they're all wearing disco clothes. It's insane because everybody in Earth's driving around in ladders and that. And it's like discotheque meet 1970s tech. It's weird. But all women are running around with next to nothing on in it. And honestly, I'm being serious. I mean, right. It started the scenes where they're in this city where they all live, and all men are there with vacuum cleaners and all that and cleaning. Honestly, and because they can't be trusted to run society because they're too warlike. So women have took off. But they do care for us. I mean, they're not evil. It's just reverse, Ex-bomber, that's it. Thanks, Copeland. Jane, Martin, imagine that and Mike Zero are nominated for the Emmy Awards for the best sci-fi. No, I don't want to imagine it. Jane, Martin, imagine that. Imagine well, he's got thousands of subscribers. I've only got 799. And I'm not on air for that. I'm on air because I enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think that's an achievement, isn't it? Getting to 1,000 subscribers, I suppose. But I'm on other formats where I've got other more people. So, right on. Oh God, yeah, UFO 1993 film, Roy Chubby Brown's. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, spoof sexy sci-fi girls, female-led dictatorship and skimpy costumes. Mate, I remember that. Yeah, yeah. Mate, check out Star Maidens. It's on YouTube. Oh, that's just called Star Maidens. Gareth Thomas. He's like two men that do a runner from this planet of feminists. Honestly, it's hilarious, man. Honestly, it's like porno meets night. It's like porno meets Space 1999 Coronation Street. Honestly, because when they get to Earth, everybody's wearing 70s clothing. There's even an episode where one of women comes down to Earth and lives with one of the fellas in a house, and they pretend to be normal, like this couple. And she gets jealous because when she's at work, he's got old women round talking to old women are into him, human women. Mate, honestly, you've got to give it a go. Guys, check out Star Maidens. It's on YouTube. Kind of all the two runners. Oh God, yeah, where men did a runner to Wales. I remember that, mate. I remember that. A friend of mine, he showed me that last year. I forgot all about it. Yeah, remember the Phantom Raspberry blower as well. Copeland, are you still going to do Skype panel chats with people reviewing classic sci-fi shows? Yeah, I'm up for that. Copeland said that before. Definitely. I think there's a few people on there who want to do it. Actually, I think it'd be good, Daniel, as well, if we could all get on together and like start chatting about some really crazy sci-fi. Definitely. Do you know what I mean? I really want to do it. Yeah, I'd really want to. Review some. I want to go really delve into the the really terrible stuff that we all had to watch when we grew up, like Star Maidens. Do you know what I mean? That thing you saw once 25 years ago and you never forgot it, and you keep thinking you were the only person that saw that show. Do you know what I mean? And then eventually, like now, we're all here going, "Yeah, good God, do you remember that?" And we're like, "Yeah, I remember that. That really fucked up show." You know what I mean? Well, Jen, yeah, if you want to put me towards an Oscar or an Emmy, definitely I'm up for it. At least I'm please not gigs and gamers. Coco, he's still gonna. Yeah, no, mate, let me know. Contact me if you want to set a night up. Definitely. Daniel, just I think you can communicate with me through YouTube. Actually, just message me on YouTube. Because you are subscribed to me, aren't you? So I can share stuff with you. So you should better do it with me. Uh, I want to see the Green Tiger in the live action movie of He-Man. Battle Cat. Yeah, I can't. I'm looking forward to the new He-Man movie. I hope they get it right this time. But I did like the old one. Star made it. Yeah, it was German sci-fi. It was like it was like a European production. It's honestly, mate, they used the entire sets of Space 1999, right? Right. They got it's full of German women. Oh, Jill Geeson, that actress, she was like in a lot of sci-fi in the 70s, really sexy. She's in it. And Gareth Thomas, and I think they've tried to make it in. It's basically these men come from a planet. They're more advanced than us, but it's dominated by loads of women. But they're all like running around with next to nothing on and spandex on and that. You know what I mean? And all fellas. Honestly, mate, you say all men are all over the floors and all this and washing. Honestly, I'm being serious, mate. Do you know what I mean? Oh God, Core Club, the stuff. Don't get me started on about that. I think they made a couple of them movies, didn't they? I remember the first one where that guy discovered conspiracy and it's eating through his stomach and that. The stuff. Good God, you're going back there. You don't see some of this stuff on DVD, do you? It never crossed over, did it? Do you know what I mean? Like the stuff and that. I mean, it's like they're just still in the realm of VHS, all these years later. And I wouldn't mind taking a look at the stuff again. Do you know what I mean? I'd probably switch it off now. Do you know what I mean? It's probably that bad. But back then it were, we were on about Chud, weren't we? An extra the other week. I started digging around for them on YouTube. I did find the Galaxy of Terror, actually. I don't know if you remember that one. Galaxy of Terror. I didn't know. I think they did. I think there were 2 films. Do you remember when they remade The Blob as well? Do you remember The Blob when they remade that as well? Do you remember that? Jane, if they remake Flash Gordon, they put the opening crawl in the movie. The opening crawl is in Flash Gordon in the photos. Well, I hope so, Jane. I'd like them to, I look forward to seeing Flash Gordon, but I did sort of. I'm a big fan of Flash Gordon. I didn't know what to make it television series. When they brought it back. Does anybody remember the television series? Does anybody remember television series Flash Gordon? It was all right. It wasn't to me, but I don't know. It started picking up a bit towards end, but it got cancelled, didn't it? Flash Gordon. Where were all rocket ships and that? I wanted Flash Gordon. They were traveling through interdimensional. It reminded me, Flash Gordon, of Mario Brothers, the movie. It were like they were coming to Earth for water and all that, weren't they? It was just, jumping through dimensions and that. Just some guy, Damon. Oh God, Damon. The only thing I remember, just some guy about Damon is in the cinema. Do you remember that scene in cinema where they came running out? Because I remember watching that. I remember my mate rented Reanimator as well with him from Deep Space Nine. Casey, what is it? Not Casey. I forgot his name. Played Wei Yun. Do you remember when he did Reanimator? I mean, that was insane. That was. I didn't know they did more than one movie. I think they did 2, bud. Jane, all right, just some guy, Demon. Yep. Are they on Steelbook and Blu-ray? Right then. I think they were Italian, weren't they, Demons? I think they were European. Does anybody remember Deathstalker as well? Coquelin thought the Blob remake. I quite like the Blob remake, but I think they made a sequel to that as well, didn't it, Blob? I think there were another film after that. They remade just some guy that remade that. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I never saw it. But I think they did. Yeah, I remember that. I think it were on at cinema, actually, that remake. Kenneth, I've been trying to watch the MS rip track versions of old films when I'm trying to kill my chokes on the pound for the pizza. Rumours that Taiki Waititi is going to make. I want a live action Flash Gordon. I do. Do you remember the Nightmare at 20,000? Oh, God. Yeah. Is that the one, William Shatner? Do you remember that film, William Shatner, where he was that vicar and they were on the aeroplane, they got stuck in limbo and he had to sacrifice himself so they could all leave? Does anybody remember that one? William Shatner, he was like overacted, really overreacted as a priest. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, Flash Gordon said, I got really excited for that. Because they did put the money into it, but it just wasn't. It didn't have the elements properly of Flash Gordon, did it? It was like basically with them from another dimension, like going up to stuff, and he flies through and stops it. It wasn't really. I watched it 1 or 2 episodes. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't Flash Gordon. I have to say that was not a classic. It wasn't, Do you remember Flash Gordon? Just some guy. That's the main bit about, and I remember about Damon. Yeah, that's what I remember about. That's what I remember about. Just some guy. Kind of, it's on the wing, a gremlin in a monkey's. Yes. It was, yeah. I've got to admit, it's a great. I think I still jump now when you see its face on window. Because I rebought Twilight Zone, the original series, I've got them on Blu-ray, season 1 and 2. I've got to get the other ones on Blu-ray. Some fantastic extras on it, though. Hours of documentary footage of, Rod Serling. I've not ordered Doctor Who yet. You know, the new box set has come out on Blu-ray, the John Pertwee one. I forgot all about it. I thought I'd put order in it. I'm gonna have to get hold of that. It's probably sold out anyway. Yes, Demons. Just some guy. Yes, Demons was Italian. Antonio. Yeah, I remember Dario Argento. Yeah, definitely. His daughter with it. His daughter. She sort of became famous for a bit, didn't she? His daughter, because she were in a couple of big movies in '90s, wasn't she? Just some guy in Italy now on YouTube. You get the original title, Demoni. Wow. I might take a look at that. It's amazing what is out there. You start typing it in, somebody's put it up somewhere, don't they? Coco, no Gremlin in the latest version of Twilight Zone. It's supposed to be the same story. Is this the new Twilight Zone? I've heard the new Twilight Zone they've made. I've heard it's flops upon it. It's not that good. This is the one that came out this year. I've not seen it, but I've heard it's been panned. Yes, Jen, I have, yeah. I've got it on I've got it on a CD. I was just thinking Rocket Man. Have you seen William Shatner sing John Pope? 1930 says Flash Gordon. No, that's for you, John. For me, it's the Sam Jones movie. That's Flash Gordon to me. I was 13 at the time when I went to see it. Do you know what I mean? I suppose that's my generation's Flash Gordon. I think Flash Gordon with Ornella Muti is one of the best films ever made. I just loved Ornella Muti. I think everybody would agree with me. Yeah, Melody Anderson were nice, wasn't she? Right, hang on. Just some guy, the blue. Yeah, but the 1930s Flash Gordon is classic. I like the one from Mars. I thought it was great. But you got to realise that the film made in the 80s, if Flash Gordon, the 1930s, if that had been put into colour, it would have looked like the film. Because the sets they used back then were just impressive, you know. Look at Ming's Hall and all that in 1930s. Just some guy. Sorry, right. The Blu-ray release of Demons are clean as fuck. Do you remember the VH copy? Yeah, I do. I do remember. Yeah, I do. Yeah, because they were all knackered. Everybody was renting them out, weren't they? It was like getting pornos back in '80. They were all knackered, weren't they? Because you couldn't get hold of them. I mean, I never watched them, but I remember people complaining about them. Well, yeah, I was young, was 18. Blu-ray release. Right, Jane, I have to go now. All right, Jane. Well, you have a nice week, and I'll see you Sunday. I'm going to go in a minute as well. So, Jane, bye, Jane. Coco, I saw one episode of brand new Twilight Zone series, which Nightmare 20,000 story. I thought it was quite lame. Right then, I'm not going to bother with new Twilight Zone. I don't know if I can be bothered. Captain Zep's Best Detective was something I went back and watched. They covered in the kids' studio with hair gel and showed them a drawn version of who done it. Right, guys, I'm gonna have to go. Right, I will be on Sunday at 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Sunday, definitely. So another good night, nice chat. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. All right, have a nice week, Jane. And I will see you all Sunday. And John, have a good week away, mate. And I'll speak to you soon. And Club. Yeah, we're gonna have to sort this streaming thing out where we all get together at some point. I look forward to it. So it should be good. All right, just some guy. Everybody, thanks for tuning in, and I will speak to you all soon. And oh, guys, check out Star Maidens. Give it a go. Trust me, just give it a go. All right, guys, live long and prosper. Speak soon.